Hey everyone, welcome to East Meets Fits. I'm Tom.
I'm Maria.
And konnichiwa. And today we're going to tell you about 10 mistakes that you need to avoid when you move or if you're just living in Dubai.
That's right. We've been living in Dubai for 7 years. It's been an amazing experience for us.
But we've definitely made some big mistakes along the way. So stick around for the video and you can learn from our mistakes so that you don't need to make them. We're going to be covering everything from the cost of living down to the cultural nuances of everyday life in Dubai.
And some of them, you really want to avoid them
Oh yeah.
to have an easier life in Dubai and smoother transitions.
Okay, mistake number 1. Underestimating the true cost of living in Dubai. Dubai can be a really glamorous place, but that glamour comes at a really high price tag.
Yes. In Japan, certain things are expensive, like seasonal fruits, but here, like rent and schooling fees if you have a child, can be really expensive.
Yeah, true. We also really like our brands from back home, right? Your McVitie's, your favorite cereal, whatever it is. But I think the reality is that because these things are imported from really far away, the cost is through the roof.
Yeah.
So, when you look at comparing your imported goods through to maybe more local options, sometimes they can literally be like 10 times more expensive.
Yeah.
A lot of cases people just stick with what they know, but that's not always the best thing.
Yeah, sometimes local produce is the best choice.
Yeah, for sure.
Mistakes number 2 is not fully understanding legal process and the visa process, how complex it is, and lot of paperwork.
Yeah, 100%. It's not like hopping over to another country in Europe. Sponsorship here is key, and I think the rules for Emirates IDs, driving licenses, visas, everything like that are very specific. So you need to make sure you know what you're doing. There was so much paperwork that I had to do just to get my visa and stuff like that.
Yeah. So in Japan, the process for foreigners can be also difficult on details, but here it's important to have an employer to get your visa sponsored, and also all the documents are tested before you come to UAE.
Yeah, 100%. Unless it's very specific situations like golden visa or investor visa or something like that, your whole existence in Dubai is linked back to your employer. So it's a very tricky process that you need to make sure you know how to navigate.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a big one. Mistake number 3. Not respecting the cultural norms and traditions of Dubai. Although Dubai is a really international city, we're still living in a Muslim country, and there are deep-rooted traditions and laws that need to be respected.
This is so important. Coming from Japan, being considerate and respecting others really normal for me. But here it's more, important to be respect others. Let's say not recording or taking photo of other persons without permission can be read to the fine, as well as public affections is no go.
Yeah, that's a big one. So like no kissing in public or anything like that. You might think that a romantic kiss under the Burj Al Arab sounds like a perfect scene, right? But in all reality, it could get you locked up. So, save it for a more private occasion.
Mistakes number 4, underestimating the heat in UAE during summer.
Oh, yeah.
Really hot.
Yeah, I mean, really hot is an understatement. Coming from the often mild, rainy UK, where it barely gets above like 20 degrees, here you're dealing with summer temperatures at like 45 to 50 degrees Celsius. Like some people don't even believe me back in the UK when I'm telling them it's like 53 degrees outside or something, right? They're like, what are you talking about? So, you know, nothing really prepares you for that. And you're mainly going to be living indoors from like May to September. So, you know, just make sure you plan ahead. What about Japan?
It's really, really humid. Japan also has really humid summer, but cannot compete summer here in UAE. Just walk from the car to building also really difficult. It's like a steam sauna.
Yeah, dreadful. You know, for me, when I'm at work, right, I wear screen glasses, being the health conscious millennial that I am. And you know, I'm sat in a cold office all day, and then literally as soon as I step out of the office to walk to the car, you know, I literally can't see. My glasses just fog right up and I'm blinded. So it's really that bad. It really is like a steam room.
Yeah, luckily air condition is really good here.
Yeah, ACs are everywhere, so shouldn't have too much of a problem, but just plan ahead. Okay, number 5. Thinking that you can just purely get by using taxis and car hailing services. You know, whilst they're very much prevalent in Dubai and there's loads of taxis, they are going to get expensive and you're better off just getting a car.
Yeah, you will struggle so much without the car, especially during the summer.
Yeah.
Really, really difficult. So, but luckily in Dubai there's so much Japanese car brands can be really reliable for you. So just get something cheap one.
Japan number 1.
Yeah, use Japanese car can be really, really useful.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we initially spent a fortune on taxis before we got driving. You know, I think with the taxi prices constantly going up, you know, drip by drip, the increase in population, I don't think that's going to get any better anytime soon. So yeah, just drive.
Yeah, just try to drive. Mistakes number 6, not researching neighborhood well before you committing lease or rental.
Yeah, Dubai has so many different neighborhoods. You know, they're all going to have a different vibe, a different price point. You know, there's just so much variety. You know, you can look at areas like the marina, or you can look at areas like downtown. Typically, they're going to be like the most expensive
and crowded.
Yeah, horrible traffic. But you've also got places like JBC, Arjan. You're going to have less traffic, and they're going to be like a little bit more affordable as well. Obviously, rents have kind of skyrocketed in the past couple of years, right? But you know, there's spending like this much and then this much. You know, it's pretty different.
Yeah, it's like a choosing town in Tokyo, depending on what you prefer, like a greener area, busier places, next to the beach.
Yeah, they've all got their different personality, haven't they?
I think in here you can choose somewhere like next to the beach, busier town, a greener area, family-friendly places. It's really depending on what you prefer.
Yeah, 100%. And definitely, you know, if you're looking at different neighborhoods, check them out during rush hour, because you're going to see like how bad the traffic is. And that's one of the worst things that really annoys me. It's like, you know, just getting stuck in traffic for like half an hour on your way home from work. No one wants that, do they? No. Mistake number 7, assuming everyone speaks the Queen's English.
While English is widely spoken language here in UAE, you really need to make sure to avoid misunderstanding, to communicate properly and clearly.
Yeah, 100%. So, you know, sometimes, especially when you're in older parts of the city, or you know, you're speaking to people in more like, you know, manual jobs or something like that. You know, communication is key, right? So, you know, you're going to have a real challenge if you're expecting perfect English from everyone. So especially if you want something, or you know, like a service or whatever it is, if you don't communicate clearly, don't be surprised when you get something completely different to what you asked for.
Happens a lot.
Yeah.
Mistakes number 8. Getting scammed.
Ooh. Yeah, Dubai is actually hailed as one of the safest cities in the world, right? And I genuinely think that's true, yeah? But you still need to keep your wits about you. Just like any other major city, there are scammers everywhere. And, they are after your cash, yeah? So, good rule of thumb, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
100%. They're very common here. I have one bad experience on online marketplace when I was trying to sell bed frame. So this person, the buyer, sent me one link to pay courier fee from Dubai to Abu Dhabi. I put my card detail and I told my husband about it. He freaked out. So he told me to cancel my card detail. Sorry, my card.
Yeah, I mean, we were actually really lucky. So we basically called up Maria's bank and we cancelled her card. But then, once we got the whole thing done and we just kind of went to see if there were any transactions, her card had already been added to a Google Pay in another country, right? And you might kind of think, oh, why are you putting your card details into this thing, right? Well, when you're in a situation, sometimes you just don't think, right? Especially when the person seems genuine and everything like that, right? But yeah, since then, Maria's definitely been a lot more careful. And you've got to be careful as well. Even when people send you an email and there's like a link with a phone number, you would usually press that link to just kind of contact that phone number. Sometimes they can be malicious links, so just be really careful what you're doing. Okay, bit of a boring one. Mistake number 9, getting carried away at all of the great venues in Dubai.
We are so lucky to have really nice restaurants, beach clubs, and the branches here in Dubai, which is like sunny days every day in the year, which is really different from my hometown in Japan's countryside.
Farmtown.
Yeah, thank you. I used to go out with my friends almost every night, every day, like drinks, bars, and brunches, and I ended up almost no savings.
Yeah, that's the result, right? You can spend a fortune here. It's so easy to overspend on dining out, whether or not it's going out for weekend brunches every week, after work drinks, ordering food because you can't be bothered to cook. It can all catch up with you. And I think the thing is, if you don't manage your finances properly and you don't exercise a little bit of restraint, you're going to end up with no savings, no investments or anything. I know so many people that actually come to Dubai, they live the high life, run up a credit card, and they actually leave Dubai in a worse place than when they found it. So it's just not really ideal. Okay, and lastly, mistake number 10, forgetting to absorb some of the local culture beyond the skyscrapers and flashing lights.
Yes, Dubai has so much to offer. The souk in old Dubai, the creek, and also the local food, and also the many Arabic food.
Yeah, it's nice actually. You've got like a historical area in Al Seif, I think it is, yeah. And it's all kind of like, restored buildings and like, they've tried to recreate like a typical spice market type thing. It's really nice and it's a great day out. And you'll actually find in Dera a lot more like localized restaurants. So you've got loads of Arabic and Indian food options. A personal favorite of mine, I've got like this tiny Indian hole-in-the-wall restaurant called Happy Restaurant. And I'm very happy because I can get like 10 huge samosas for like 10 dirhams, which is like £2. It's so cheap.
Don't miss out the desert. Just looking at the dunes is so amazing on the sunset time.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy actually. There's like camels walking around everywhere. It's wild.
100%.
So those are our top 10 mistakes for people moving to Dubai, based on our experiences as a British and Japanese couple.
Hope these tips will help you move in the future.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's all about just being prepared, respectful, and open-minded that this is a completely different culture.
Please tell us your mistakes in the comment below.
Yeah, please. And if you've got any questions about moving to Dubai, just feel free to ask.
If you like this video, like お願いします.
Yeah, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn notifications on so you don't miss our next video next week.
さよなら.
Sayonara!